Hi, this is Clint with Zuluscape Property Management.
And I'm Scott from Realty Wealth Advisors.
We are here to give you a market update on property management. We are 1 year into the pandemic, and initially, when we started in the pandemic, we'd given a few written updates, but we're going to give you a video update and kind of talk about what we've seen over the last year. Initially, we were pretty scared in the market, and what could happen with the pandemic. So, we kind of reached out to our tenants and made sure that they knew that the processes to take and that rent payments were still very important. But then we were actually quite pleasantly surprised to see that everyone kept paying their rent.
Year over year, our collections were actually up through the last months leading up till right now.
Right.
So, it's been kind of the opposite of what I think a lot of people feared and what we feared. So,
yeah, we saw record rent collection in April. We broke that record in May, and then we broke that record in June. And we kind of stabilized a little bit from there, and it actually even tailed off a little bit in the last 90 days. And when I say a little bit, I mean, ever so slightly more to normal ranges. But then we are setting a rent collection record this month. We have a couple days left in the month, and we are smashing our rent collection record as a company. So initially I didn't know, but I think that it's partially tied to the stimulus. I think that we've been through enough stimulus rotations where I think we have seen an uptick in some clients getting caught up. The few clients tenants that we have getting caught up, but overall, we've seen no slowdown. A lot of that has to do with we only manage good properties in good neighborhoods. We start with that with Realty Wealth, with the properties that we provide a lot of our customers. Anyone that brings properties to us to manage, it has to be good properties, good neighborhoods, and a lot of those are family neighborhoods.
We had the least number of tenant turns over the last year that we've ever had in a year period, which means people wanted to stay in their homes. The commodity of a square feet in a home and having a backyard just became more valuable. So, besides the fact that real estate's really hot, square feet and owning and having a yard means a lot. People don't want to move out of houses into apartments. So we saw people staying through that whole period. We've seen a little uptick now. I think people stayed as long as they possibly could in some cases where people needed to move to other places and they kept putting it off. So we've seen a little uptick, but we're still below, industry standards for tenant turns. So tenants are staying, tenants are paying. Things are really good in the tenant world right now.
And we also saw a decreased need for maintenance over the last year, and most of that just has to do with tenants were taking care of items on their own a lot more. Lastly, one of the things that we had to do, we had to cut off all of our ongoing inspections due to COVID. Just sending our staff into homes during the height of the pandemic was pretty scary. So we had stopped all of our inspections, and now we are starting them back up. We are doing exterior only for the next few months, and then the hope is in 60 days we will be back on a normal inspections schedule. And that is just to only for the safety of our tenants, for the safety of our staff, for the comfort of our staff and the comfort of our tenants. We just really wanted to make sure that we were doing everything that we could to protect everybody. But at the end of the day, the good news is everything has been, very pleasantly surprising to us. So,
sure.
So anyhow, but
and when you see future tenant renewals and your Property Pro reaches out to you, there's been an uptick in rent values here in Indianapolis, which most of the folks who own properties here know that this is a pretty static, stable market. So we don't have a lot of the ups and downs and jumps that a lot of other markets have, but we've been pleasantly surprised. There's been a little uptick in rent. So listen to your Property Pro. We've hired the best people who really understand the market, know the tenant market, know the values of rents. They'll be making suggestions as tenant turns happen and tenants renew.
Lastly, if there's anything that we can do, any questions, any uneasiness that you need us to help you with what's going on with your investments, always reach out to us. We always want to help you. We are extremely grateful to have you as customers. We appreciate all of your support and trust over the years, and we want to give the same to you. So make sure that you don't set on any questions that you have. Reach out to us at any times. Thank you so much. God bless.